This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated with regard to Zalma's insurance fraud letter for May 15, 2022, Volume 26, Issue Number 10. This issue of Zalma's insurance fraud letter includes articles about the prosecution being proper for an accident in Missouri and fraud in Kansas at the Twin Cities of Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. Crossing a state line will not present a problem for the state to prosecute a fraudulent claim when that claim is made in the state of Kansas, even if the accident was made in the state of Missouri, because Kansas courts have jurisdiction over a crime partly committed in Kansas by a criminal actor who commits either an act that constitutes a constituent and material element of the offense, or through an act that is substantial and an integral part of an overall continuing criminal plan, and the act causes or effect consequences in Kansas close enough in time or cause to be a proximate result. Two courts found no jurisdiction, but the Supreme Court of Kansas read the whole statute and found jurisdiction in a case called the State of Kansas versus Ivan Rozell, a April 22, 2022 decision of the Supreme Court. Read the full article when you download the full Zalma's insurance fraud letter. Another article deals with a doctor who defrauded health insurers and then tried to back out of his plea deal where he pled guilty, where in the state of New Jersey versus Amgad A. Hussein, Dr. Hussein, a physician facing 38-count indictment alleging billing fraud related to his medical practice, was on the verge of starting his trial after completion of jury selection when he pled guilty to second-degree theft by deception and second-degree health care insurance claims fraud. Only when he was sentenced to jail did he then appeal, saying he had a bad lawyer who led him wrong. In another article, drivers are found to have admit that they lie when they apply for auto insurance to save money on premium, and how much Americans think they save by lying on auto insurance. A lengthy article explains how this works and how the people who lie on their application may find that their policy at the time of a claim is declared void from its inception. Then there's an article about a convicted fraudster who frivolously keeps trying to avoid jail. Those who commit insurance fraud have funds to issue interminable motions on appeal. For example, insurance fraud convictions are unreasonably rare, and when the perpetrator is convicted, the convicted defendant seems to have unlimited funds to appeal the convictions. Imtiaz Sharif, after his conviction, unsuccessful in his first appeal, filed a new appeal, claiming his lawyers failed him. In Imtiaz Sharif versus the United States of America, the United States District Court for the Western District of North Carolina put a stop to his multiple appeals. Then there's an article about a fake claim that was defeated by surveillance in the United Kingdom, where Anthony Hopkins, a retired scrap metal dealer's £1.1 million insurance claim, was dismissed in full after the investigation carried out by Admiral Insurance and its lawyers Horwich Farrelly found the claimant to be a liar who fabricated evidence to fraudulently inflate the value of his claim of lost earnings. Hawkins claimed that he suffered multiple and serious injuries in a road traffic accident on 23 August 2014, and as a result of his injuries, Hawkins spent 26 days as an inpatient. Hawkins also claimed he suffered recurrent infections around the metalwork in the injured right forearm. Central to his claim for lost earnings was a handwritten, undated letter that alleged to offer the claimant employment at the same scrapyard he had previously sold for a salary plus weekly bonuses. Surveillance of Mr. Hawkins established that he was in fact uninjured and able to do many things that he claimed he was unable to do, and the judge dropped the hammer on him and refused to allow him to recover anything. For those of you who have followed the problems with the Strems law firm in Florida, there is an article about how that law firm settled a fraud suit with insurers who claimed to have been defrauded by him. Then there's a listing of health insurance fraud convictions where, for example, a clinic owner was sentenced to federal prison for laundering money for a pill mill. There's a listing of other than health insurance fraud convictions, starting with a conviction of one Yuri Jenkins, who was found guilty of murder for hire and insurance fraud after a Florida jury returned a guilty verdict saying he was the orchestrator of a 2017 plot to kill his pregnant wife. Deliberations of the jury lasted less than a day before they reached a decision on the charge of first-degree murder. Jenkins, 35, now faces life in prison without parole. Prosecutors told the jury that he plotted with another man, Jovan Joseph, then 19, to kill his wife, Makeva Jenkins, plus many more convictions listed in this issue of the newsletter. Mr. Jenkins' case, of course, establishes without doubt that insurance fraud is a violent crime and needs to be prosecuted with confidence and alacrity. This video was adapted from the newsletter, Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter for May 15, 2022, which is available on my website at zalma.com, which is free and can be downloaded as a 22-page PDF. The last two issues of the fraud letter are always available on the website by clicking on the link to the Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter at my website, www.zalma.com. Thank you for your attention, and please subscribe to avoid the need to download each time.